Well, let's hear about Matchbook and your process of reading submissions. And tell us, are you the founder of the magazine? And when did you create it and why?
So I started Matchbook in 2009, June of 2009, with my friend and writer, Edward Milani. That was a long time ago now. But we initially started Matchbook. Matchbook has a slightly strange form in that we publish one short thing every 2 weeks, just one thing. And we have the writer write a little author's note on either the piece or their process or something that they are thinking about that's in relation to this thing that we've published. And that was because at that time, even at that time in 2009, we felt like online publishing, it was such a cool opportunity for literature, but at the same time, it felt like drinking from a fire hose, where people, journals were like, here's our new issue. There's 78 pieces in it, and don't worry, we have another new issue next week with another 80 pieces. And we were just like, I can't. It's so much. And like that, winds up getting you a lot of traffic online because there's a lot of people associated with all that. But we were being slightly antagonistic in our approach and thought, well, literature is supposed to be read slowly and repeatedly. And so we thought, how do we make people or at least provide us a publication where people could do that? So we were like, we're going to do one short piece every 2 weeks. And then, if you come back on the off week, it's just us being like, no, read this again. And so then, we did that for a number of years. And then, Edward stepped away and my friend and writer and editor, R.B. Pillay, stepped in, and we did it up until just a few years ago, to 2021 or 22 or so. And then, as with all these things, they kind of run its course. They run their course in that you just get tired, and it's two people running a literary journal. I mean, I know people there's one person running a literary journal. I don't know how they do it. It seems really hard. So for the two of us to do it, we just got kind of tired. And so we were like, I guess the good thing was we were always on the same page. We always sort of like, I think I'm getting tired of this. And the other person would be like, I'm also getting tired of this. And so we were like, I think that means we can say goodbye. But there was the question also of like, do we hand it off to somebody else? Because I feel like Matchbook does have a nice readership and a lot of goodwill. And so, but then we were like, yeah, but we're also paying a small token fee to writers out of our pocket. And I don't really want to saddle someone else with doing that. And we didn't want Matchbook to go backwards and stop paying. So we were like, well, I think that means it's over. And then, the rest of COVID happened, and me in my life, I was trying to refigure things out after, once we all got through COVID, it was sort of like, what's important? What are the things that I care about and want to spend my time doing? Even if I barely have the time to do it, I still want to spend my time on those things. And Matchbook just sort of bubbled back up for me. So late last year, I contacted RB and said, what do you think about starting a Matchbook again? And he said, I think that's a great idea for you to do. And I said, okay. But he gave me his blessing and said, do what you need to do. So I decided that in order to make it sustainable, I needed to have a little bit of a larger staff. I needed to have more people working on it. People I trusted. I didn't want to go into the we have 78 readers and, that's a whole other model that I just wasn't that interested in. And so I was like, I just want a nice, trusted sort of group of people that whose taste and opinions and principles and ethics I trust. So I assembled that over the course of few months. And then since we restarted in June publishing of this year, and so we're back, and that's been really exciting. That's sort of the general introduction to Matchbook, I think.